Hello everybody, my name is Kazm, Vulfhart, aka King Kazm, whatever you want to call me. Welcome back to Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We're gonna find a boss! How am I gonna fight this guy, though? As far as I'm aware, there's no updrafts or anything like that, because we were fighting this guy in the sky. And there were updrafts, and this guy looks so cool! Also, is he not the... Isn't he the biggest one out of all of them? Am I mistaken in thinking that his shadow... Oh, hey, cool. I don't think... I think in this regard, equipping all of this is probably my best bet. One down. The portals that he uses are just so cool. Where is he? Ow. Hope I didn't miss. I took a lot of damage there, but thankfully, I prepared food in advance. What is this? No, you don't. Oh, the music. I didn't even notice his music. Okay, that loses some effect when I can't see shit. I see a light root, though. Oh, right, he does that. Hit this one at least. Maybe. One down. So there's the portal. So does he come down from below every single time? Yes, yes he does. Ow! Dick! Okay, maybe it's smarter to eat the defense one. Where are you? I hear my puppies. Avoid hitting him if you can. Yeah, no, fighting him in the dark actually just became a lot harder. Ah! Where he is. Also, these... Oh, the wind is actually chasing me. Oh, I didn't know he fires stuff at you. Kinda cool. Fire. 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 Where'd your head go? Okay, now I can do this. Maybe. Why am I bad at hitting this now? Where's the other one? Move your wing. It's a pretty, pretty wing. Move it. Gotcha! I'm eager to see the thing he drops. don't think I could have avoided that explosion. And I am safe. What'd he drop? Ooh. He dropped one of his teeth. Sorry. Mandibles. He dropped one of his mandibles. Does this change? I guess I gotta be full health for that. That was cool. Honestly, I think out of all of them, I think I liked refighting him the most. Now, there was a light root. I saw a light root while we were flying in the air. Ah, crap. I just gotta get back up here and try and find it again. Going off the topic of what I was talking about last episode, I know it's been for you guys like, what, 3 days? Give or take? For me, it's literally been like 5 minutes. 6, technically. That tree screwed me over. I wish I could get rid of the particles. I really do. I don't like the particles in the air. Like, in the beginning, is that an option I can change? Please tell me that's an option I can change. Of course it's not. Why would it be? It's a Legend of Zelda game. There you are. Okay, let me get over here so I can get my stamina back. And I should be able to jump my way down over there. But yeah, I want to continue on the topic, and I want to go on about 2 weeks' notices. I don't know if it's a thing in Japan and Germany and stuff like that. It might be. I would assume in some cases it is a thing. But because of the fact, like, there's a lot of... Oh, I did the thing I didn't want to do. I can't see shit. I'm gonna put on full glow here. I would assume it is somewhat a thing in other places. I don't know off the top of my head. If you are a viewer of mine from a different country that is not America, please comment down below whether or not 2 weeks notices are a thing, or like how strictly you guys follow them. Over here in America, we have an issue with it. We have several issues with it, to be honest. First and foremost, a lot of companies, and a lot of, well, technically speaking, a lot of adults in general are teaching the younger generations that 2 weeks notices are mandatory. Technically speaking, by definition, they are not. And there's a lot of people who agree with that statement. There's a lot of people who will not agree with that statement. Let me tell you something interesting about that. And this isn't me trying to be petty. This is me trying to use logic here. Most businesses over here in America have the legal right to fire you without warning for usually very little reason. Usually. There are certain rules and regulations set up to prevent that kind of behavior. But a lot of companies, especially like Walmart and Amazon and stuff like that, don't have to follow those rules for one reason or another. Usually it's just money is the reason, but to put that into perspective for you guys, that's basically what that's basically the thing that happens over here in America. That only opened up half of his arena to the light? Holy crap. That genuinely sucks. Which means I need to climb up this. But because of that reasoning, like that reasoning alone is actually why 2 weeks notices are not a mandatory thing. It sounds petty. I'm going to sound petty here. But if a business can fire a person with little to no warning and give them no opportunity to find a new job, why should a person, which by the way, I should, why should a person put the 2 weeks notice in? Is basically the rest of that. Now let me clarify something here. A 2 weeks notice, the reason it exists is because it is supposed to be it's supposed to be a thing that gives your employer time to find a replacement for your position and train them for it. That is what a 2 weeks notice is supposed to be for. However, a lot of businesses don't use 2 weeks notice for that. A majority of businesses will actually use the 2 weeks notice as a reason to fire a person. Like the minute you put your 2 weeks notice in, this actually happened to me recently with my last job. The minute you put your 2 weeks notice in, you are now technically a liability to the company, and so they will nitpick you until they either make you quit sooner or until you get fired. For a arbitrary reason. I was never told why I got fired from my last job. However, from what I understand about how a business is run, I technically could have been considered insubordinate. The day I got fired, they were getting on my case about not keeping pace with the times that were set. However, the times that were set are arbitrary and very much not balanced in a way that makes sense. Basically, to put it in a little bit of perspective, the times are based on an average of multiple different people, and the averages are supposed to include breaks, but a lot of people would not take breaks with the job itself, so you had a massive margin of error in the time calculation, which would lead to those of us who actually did take our breaks on a regular basis, which was me included. It would lead to us basically. It was a form of weeding out for the most part, because they wanted people. They didn't say it, and they acted like this wasn't the case, but they really wanted people who were willing to not take breaks and just keep working, because that meant that they had. Because you got paid by the hour with this job. It was a delivery person for Amazon, by the way. I should just point that out. You get paid by the hour, not by the package. So if you get done sooner, that means that they technically are paying you less. Because they don't... If you get done within 6 hours, they're not going to pay you 8. They're going to pay you 6. Because that's... And that's something that they wanted. But the only way to, for the most part, to do that is to skip your breaks. And a lot of people admitted to skipping their breaks. Which at that point genuinely should have been a red flag for our bosses to start enforcing it, but obviously they're not going to enforce it because that just means more money for them. And also our bosses would cut, my boss specifically, wanted us to cut the time of when we were supposed to return by an hour, because if they didn't, and we didn't get everything delivered on time, like we were supposed to, get into this area that is not... I'm just gonna glide over the rest of the way. But if we didn't get everything delivered in the time in that less than an hour time frame, well then Amazon would basically stop paying us because it was a subcontractor company kind of deal, because that's how they do their delivery people. But if we didn't get everything delivered in the time that our bosses gave us, that means that Amazon would stop paying us for that extra hour of drive time. And where we were delivering was roughly like an hour away from where we were stationed. And that means that the gas and stuff that we would have to pay for would be coming out of the company's pocket that I worked for, not Amazon's. So you can see why there are some, like, these would be red flags to a lot of people who are aware of things. As a business, that does make a little bit of sense, but, like, I was working, my company was working with a company that is Amazon, who is very unreasonable with a lot of their things. They expect people to be robots and stuff like that a lot of the time. Even though they'll go on record to say, like, oh yeah, we're humanitarian, we care about our employees greatly. No, they don't. I've seen the employees themselves being miserable just by literally working. But because of how my company was running things, and because of how the times are calculated, and because my boss, like, I hate to be this guy, but I'm going to be this guy. My boss didn't have a backbone. Like, the owner of the company did not have a backbone. He behaved like he did. He did not. He folds like a house of cards a lot. And it's literally only for it's literally only with people who are above him, which in this case would be the the people who signed his contract at Amazon. He wasn't too much of a bad guy outside of that, but, like, as an owner, it felt too much like he was just accepting the raw deal from Amazon and not really doing much to help us as employees. And honestly, possible proof of that, I don't know. This when I was still there still there, but had my 2 weeks notice in, was hearsay at the time. I don't know if it has changed. But at one point, I used to have to be there at like 9:30 for load up. Like, I had to be there before 9:30 for load up. I always arrived at 9 for the most part. There was rumors of it changing to be we had to be there by 11. This is in the morning, by the way. And that wasn't flying with a lot of people, because a lot of people showed up at the time, like, wanted to be there at 9 because it was a good time for them to do so. Like, their kids are at school, all that stuff, so they have time to do that. I have no idea where I am. And those little toe taps gave me just enough energy to potentially land somewhere safe. I don't know, I can't see. I can see now. But, you know, overall, a lot of people weren't happy with that change. If it did change, a lot of people left. And there's no... There's so many issues with that kind of behavior, to be honest. Not just from, like, Amazon, but from, like, the contracting company I work for as well. Because, like... Okay, so, like, I also work construction with my uncle. And there was more structure working with him in multiple different environments than there was working for this company at Amazon. Because there were so many changes from like 50 different people of differing like levels of authority in this company. It was so obnoxious and annoying. Like, and by the way, this isn't me dissing this company specifically, because you need companies like this. Not being run like this, but you need a company like a delivery company in order to do the packages for Amazon and stuff like that. Like I think I just learned something. But you need those companies because in today's day and age, we order so much off of Amazon and off of Walmart and off of just online. We order so much that you need companies like this in order to make sure that all those deliveries get to where they need to go. I just wish it wasn't Amazon that was mostly in charge of it. Hang on a second, actually, wait. Tulin, where are you? I need to I'm not even going to question it. Go that way. I'm testing something here.
Yeah.
Oh! That is cool. It's affected by the wind.
Yeah.
That's neat. I like that. There you are. But with like, I know businesses, or not businesses, but like jobs like construction workers, they have to be adaptable and they have to be able to like deal with changes that are relatively common. But with the changes that were happening so often and with very little warning at the distribution center, because that's what it was a distribution center. It was not an environment I would ever suggest anybody work in. The job wasn't exactly hard either, because it was just honestly delivering packages to doors. Worst thing I ever had to worry about was just dogs. It wasn't a bad job for the most part. The issue was literally the management just wouldn't say no to the right things. Like the average delivery size, like the average van size, because the van, you've seen the vans probably before while going about your everyday life. I see them, okay, like a little sidebar here. I never knew I knew they existed. I never knew they existed though. Like I'd never ever seen them. Up until I started working for them, I can't stop seeing them everywhere now. It's so freaking annoying. Like, for the longest time, it never occurred to me to keep an eye out for these vans. Now, I just see them everywhere, and it's so annoying. But, like, you've seen the average size of the van, for the most part, I'm sure. Especially if you've had your stuff delivered by these Amazon vans. They would have us fill these vans to such a degree where, at one point, an employee actually got trapped in the van and had to have a coworker come bail them out. Because the stuff fell, jammed the door from their end, and they couldn't move anything to get out. Like, that's to which the degree that Amazon had us fill these vans. My average stop count, not package count, stop count, was roughly in between 100 to 120 maximum. That was when I would start struggling, as if it went beyond that.
Yeah.
And I would have to be bailed out. My bosses didn't like that, but I told them straight up, like, look, this is the best you're probably going to get out of me. Not because I'm not trying, but because it's literally the best you're going to get out of me. I'm not going to be sacrificing my brakes just because you want me to jam more stuff into the time that you're giving me. I'm trying to see if there's a way down without dying. Or a way down that's relatively easy to get back up on. Doesn't look like it, though. Aha, light root. There it is. This is what I was looking for. And unfortunately, like, my attitude, my behavior, I know this is part of... I don't even want to say it's part of my issue, because it's just how I am. I'm not willing to sacrifice my mental health and mental physical well-being for any company. Like, that is a giant eye. What? Okay, we're gonna go there. We're gonna make our way there is where we're going. It looks like I'm both above it and below it. I think I just need to stay on this level and I'll be able to get to it. But I don't feel anybody should be willing to have that mentality at all either. Like, you shouldn't be willing to sacrifice yourself for a company. Because there are too many companies out there that are willing to abuse that. I've seen too many people get genuinely fucked over because a company wanted, like, a company was offering a position to people in the company, and then these people who are very good workers know what they're doing and are, like, have the behavior and attitude to be good at this position, get denied it, but basically promise that they'll get it. Or talked into pushing themselves even further at a chance to be able to get it. Like, I don't mean to babble too much about one of my friends, but, like, this guy has been working his ass off at Walmart that we used to work together. I still hang out with him. I still hang out with him every now and again. But he has been fucked over so many times by management whenever a position... Like, this is honestly, like, to the point where it's gotta be planned. It has to be. He has been denied a chance at getting a promotion, for the most part, like a better position, for some of the most mediocre, idiotic shit. Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about how stupid this shit is that he gets in trouble for. Like, they have penalized him for trash that wasn't even his. That's how stupid this company... Like, that's how stupid Walmart is. Because... Although he's pretty smartened up to it. And just basically done malicious compliance, which I 100% approve. I want to... How do I get there? I want to figure out what this is, but I'm on a side where I can't get to it. And the closest light route is like freaking miles away. I could loop around. It's just going to take forever. And there's no freaking, like, chasm I can use, is there? I say chasm instead of chasm because it sounds way too much like my name. And I'm not going to be able to resist the joke of, no, I'm right here. Because I make dad jokes, and that's what I do. But basically, like... Oh, that's a Lionel. That's a Lionel that knows I'm here. That range is insane. It's fine. I'm leaving you alone. You can leave me alone. I'm walking around you. Just leave me alone. See? I'm leaving you alone. You can leave me alone. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, these companies know that there are people out there that are willing to put in extra effort I wasn't on the right map. For a chance to get a promotion, because that's what we that's basically what we teach our kids. Is that that's the kind of attitude you need to have. And then they can give it to other people who are less deserving. I've seen so many Walmart employees. Oh, this is dangerous. So where was the protection on that one? But I've seen so many people get promotions because they're friends of other people. And then the people who aren't their exact friends, like the people who are the hard workers who are more deserving, especially in my opinion, they're more deserving of the promotion. They were basically are told your chances of getting this job, like the issue is it's the wording of like your chances of getting this job are increased if you do this for me. It's that mentality of we'll consider you more if you're a harder worker. We'll consider you more if you do take on more responsibility. But the issue is with promotions, for the most part, I'm going to make this video a little bit longer because I feel this is something important that a lot of people should be aware of. If you are younger and you're entering the workforce, it's something you should be aware of. I'm not saying don't work hard, but I'm saying be careful. And if you are older, don't do this. But you're in a position where you can try and prevent it. I would recommend you try and prevent it. But an example, or not an example, but like I said, I've seen so many people get denied these promotions. Which, by the way, if you don't know, whenever a position opens up in a company, unless it was like beyond extremely sudden, I'm talking like it happened in store or in the company that the position has been opened because the person died in store or in company. 9 times out of 10, regardless of what a person's position is, the company has already just like figured out a good replacement for that person. Like, you may not believe me, you may think of that as just like paranoid delusion. No, it's honestly true, and there's efficiency. There's like an efficient reason behind it. In fact, Walmart actually had a kind of secret program going on where you would be able to train employees to be the next team leads because they showed great aptitude for what the team lead needs. The issue is, it's Walmart. 80% of the time, they aren't looking for, like, I say 80% of the time because in one of the situations I was actually aware of, the person in line for, like, the person being, trained actually was like a good person, a good option for it. A very good option for it. And it sucks that they had to deal with what they had to deal with. But thankfully, they're no longer working with Walmart either, which I'm glad, because honestly, they deserve better. Given the shit they've gone through. Regardless. But with this kind of program, there's actually a few things that most members of management are looking for. They're looking for yes men and women who will kowtow, bow down to their demands and be like, oh yes, this is a good decision even though it's an extremely bad one. That's what they're looking for, really, when they do these training things. They want... I don't know why it keeps jumping to that. I guess because I'm picking up pose. They want these people who will just basically make their lives easier. And make them... not more money. Like, there's this weird disconnect. Because technically speaking, yes men don't make you more money, it just strokes your ego. If I were a boss, I would want somebody willing to tell me, no, this is no, I don't want to deal with these guys. I want somebody to tell me this idea is stupid, don't do it. I want to be, I knew of a company where the head honcho would hire, he hired somebody who they always argued. They always argued. And they would always, tell each other off and stuff like that. And it was, some of the most unprofessional behavior you would always see. Spirit Temple, Vessel of the Spirit's Resting Place. This is where I wanted to get to. What is this? Where am I? But he would hire, he hired this person. And they would always argue and fight and stuff like that. And he was asked why. And he said, this person's more likely to tell me the truth about whether or not a business venture is good or not for the company than any yes man or woman. And I always found that kind of behavior interesting, and that's something that most companies need, is they need people who will say, no, this is a bad idea, or no, this isn't going to work, or there's a possibility this could backfire, here's why. We need more people in the workforce like that, whether they be managers or grunts or stuff like that. But unfortunately, companies like Walmart and Amazon, they don't want that stuff because, well, they don't like the word no. Because to them, no means less money. And that's basically it. No means less money to them, so they don't want to hear it. And that's basically kind of why I got fired. It was because I told them, no, it's not working. It's stupid. It's measured wrong. Everything's not right. But they don't want to hear that from somebody like me. They don't want to hear that from somebody who's grunt level. Because grunt levels, in America at least, we're basically trained that we have to shut up and deal with it. That's what our job is. Because, I mean, in a way it may... Wait a minute. Is this an actual temple? Wait, hang on. We gotta go back to the... Where is it? Similar symbol. Where's the air temple? What on earth have I found? How many more temples are in this game? We'll find out. I've rambled on long enough for you guys, by the way. I don't want to talk your ears off any more than I have to. Then again, it's my show, so you get to deal with me rambling. Regardless, though, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That way you see more content like this in the future. And if you're coming back on the regular and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's free. It helps out a ton. I'm greatly appreciative. And if you could share this video with your friends, your family, your favorite group of temple goers? Temple builders? You know what? Share this video with employees that you think do a great job and deserve a promotion. If you do that, I'd be appreciative of that as well. And as always, I will see you as we continue our adventures in Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Bye-bye. What is this temple?